second touchdown of the night. And when Aniana scores, Cherokee County responds.
That's how you have to do it. I mean, if you want to win, you know, whatever you do, I can do better.
And here's just physical line of scrimmage play, as Cherokee County has been very effective up front in the red zone tonight on offense. Here's Branson for the PAT. A little high snap, but the hold is here, and the kick is up, and it is good. We'll take a timeout. Cherokee County 28 in
the third quarter. Warriors 28, Redskins 7.
Hey, who are you?
Oh, hey, Jeff, I'm a car thief.
What?
I'm here to steal your car because, well, that's my job.
What?
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 It happens.
So get all stake. I'd be better protected from mayhem, like me.
PCA Insurance is an independent insurance agency located in Piedmont, serving the cities of Piedmont, Center, Hoax Bluff, Jacksonville, Collinsville, Gadsden, Anniston, Cave Springs, and Oxford.
The Cherokee County Warriors 16 minutes, 39 seconds away from punching their ticket to Auburn for the 4A championship game next week, where one of these teams, the winner, will face either Andalusia or Montgomery Catholic next Friday morning. Here's Bothwell returning from his own 3, trying to find some blocking, and will go out of bounds across the way.
Bothwell return
across the
man
25, or they'll spot it
25.
right at the 25-yard line. Our friends at the Alabama High School Athletic Association
Run out
will
of
tell
bounds by
you that
Rogers
win or
and
lose,
Wilson.
the name of the game is sportsmanship in our education-based high school athletics. The lessons learned on the court and in the bleachers is good sports are winners no matter what the score. Support high school athletics with good sportsmanship. A public service message from the Alabama High School Athletic Association. Aniana down 21 as Bothwell gets stood up and will go forward across the 30 to about the 34-yard line. Our third quarter brought to you by Cherokee Pines Golf Club, as they're now under new ownership from Scott and Valerie Farah. And be sure to come and experience all the scenic wonders and improvements under the supervision of Heath Hammond. Abernathy directing his offense in the shotgun on 2nd and 7. As the keeper for Abernathy, as he will get out one tackle and wrestle down at the line of scrimmage. There's Alex Lloyd, Jack Amos, and others on the stop.
That was number 10, Abernathy, on the ball carrier.
So excellent pursuit that time from the Cherokee County defense, as they were able to contain that zone read for minimal yardage.
Well, they actually got a little penetration right there, and that's what you want to do. You know, you got to pick and choose, but right here, of course, you're going to be key in Bothwell.
The Cherokee County sideline and the fans in a frenzy late in the third quarter. 3rd down and 5. Here's Bothwell on the carry, trying to sweep it around the left end. Needs the 40, and he'll be stopped about 2 yards shy of the first down. Good contain that time by Jack Amos and others to prevent the first down. And let's see, does Aniana decide they want to punt it or go for it down 21?
Well, you're down 21. Hey, you ain't got nothing to lose. I mean,
now less than 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Cherokee County has led wire to wire so far tonight. 4th and a couple as Bothwell up the middle, needs the 40, fighting for the 40. It's going to depend on the spot.
Stop short.
He needs exactly the 40, and they're probably going to have to bring the chains out to measure to see if it's a first down or not.
Well, according to the spot right there, it looked like he's at the right foot spot. Looked like he's giving him the first down.
And it is indeed the first down, even though the PA announcer here said it was short, but the officials have the last word, and they say it's a first down.
He looked a little short on it, but I was looking at the spot of the official, and I could tell that was a first down all day from the spot.
Still good effort from the defense by Cherokee County, but just a little better effort from Bothwell. There's the snap, and this will be the give to the near side. As being run out of bounds will be Malachi Montgomery getting a carry. So across the 40 to about the 43-yard line. So Malachi Montgomery giving Bothwell a little bit of a blow right now.
Well, he has to have one. I'm sure he's got to be over 200 yards right now.
I mean, he's doing everything he can to try and keep his team anywhere close to shouting distance in this game. 2nd and 7, give to Malachi Montgomery as he'll fall forward across the 45 to about the 48 or so. So he'll be about a couple yards shy of the first down, but Cherokee County will be happy with that clock running now. Under 2 minutes left in the third quarter.
And he's going both ways too. I mean, he's playing, running back, and he's playing outside linebacker. So hey, that's a workload on him.
3rd and 2 from the 48. As this will be Montgomery wrapped up in the backfield as Tay Diamond with 2 sacks in the first quarter comes up with the tackle for loss.
In the backfield for a loss. First down for the Warriors.
And there you saw Tay Diamond read that play and diagnose it perfectly as that play loses 6 back to the 42.
Trying to tell y'all something.
So too far to go or maybe they do have to go for a first down, because there's only about 16 minutes left in this ball game, or 13 minutes rather left in this ball game. And check that. Looks as if that Aniana will have to punt.
Well, I wouldn't kick it to Amos back there.
And well, it's not going to get to Amos because that kick from Handley doesn't go very far.
At the 42-yard line.
Around the 42-yard line. So it's going to be good field position for Cherokee County with 48.2 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Cherokee Pines Golf Club brings to you our third quarter. Improve your game with individual or group lessons from course managing pro Eddie Jackson. Visit the club shop and pro shop as well, as they're located just off of Highway 9 outside of Center.
Well, you have no safety in the middle of the field. I'd have to throw it to Amos again.
But Carnejo will get the call this time as he'll ride the wave of blockers, and he'll break it loose to the 40 and down to the 36 of Aniana.
Crossing the 40-yard line.
But I tell you what, those couple of deep passes to Jack Amos looks as if it's starting to open up the run a little bit more.
Absolutely.
Into the press box.
So to be a first down run from their own 42 to now the Aniana 36-yard line, a gain of 22.
I would have to take a shot right here. I would have to. You got the same matchup. You have no safety in the middle of the field. There's no way he can contain him.
Carnejo to the near side, running over a couple of tacklers and still going.
Carnejo is
He's close to and has another first down.
Crossing the 15, close
And right
to the 20.
now, Cherokee County just physically imposing their will on Aniana.
First down, Warriors.
So the clock running under 20 seconds to go. As it's Cherokee County's night so far, as that's probably the final play of the third quarter. Gain of 14 on first down for Jacob Carnejo, as the Cherokee County sideline puts up the four fingers as they want to win the fourth quarter, and we go to the fourth quarter. Cherokee County 28, Aniana 7.
FNN, James Hardy, as we get set for, this is our 12th week of doing, well, for some of us, it's our 12th week to do this show.
I was working all those Tuesdays, just not here.
Shoot, man, you were sitting in a press box somewhere with your feet kicked up, waiting on somebody to bring you something to drink.
No, I was doing them live updates, and all the work, the real work begins after the game.
Yeah, boy, absolutely. Of course, yeah, you got to write all those stories and look at all the photos and, of course, go to the coaches' interviews and all that stuff. And I understand doing that with Rich Rod's kind of fun.
It depends on if you get win Rich Rod or lost Rich Rod. They're two very different people.
Which one is the better one to cover?
Win Rich Rod. The other one can be a little short.
Well, of course, we are at the end of the regular season as we get set to begin the AHSAA playoffs, a 5-week grind to the Super 7 and 7 state champions in boys football and, of course, a flag football champion in girls football. And this year, those games will take place inside Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa as we crown champions for the 2023 season. Guys, the regular season again came to an end this past Friday night. As we usually do when we start this show, we talk about impressions from the previous Friday. I'm sure you saw Jacksonville and Oxford up close.
I was quite impressed with Oxford and frankly not surprised with Jacksonville last Friday. I think some people might have been alarmed by that game. I think they just hadn't played a team like Oxford in weeks, and there was a bit of a when you get that kind of resistance on the other side of the ball after scoring 50 and 60 points against the teams they were playing there for about 6 weeks, it's a bit of a culture shock. I think Jacksonville needed that game to get them geared up for this week. I think it's going to help them this week.
We probably saw a team that needed what happened to them, too, this past Friday night up in center as we brought you the Fort Payne-Cherokee County matchup to end the regular season. The Warriors, James, playing for an undefeated regular season. They went through this last year as well. I mean, and, they just came up on the short end of the stick this past Friday night. If anything, I think we saw a blueprint of how to beat Cherokee County, and it's with a passing game.
I think you're right. And give credit to Fort Payne for matching the physicality that Cherokee County brought, which as far as for Cherokee County when it comes to their opponents, that's probably one of the few opponents, even still, probably through late in the postseason, they'll be able to match the type of physicality that Jacob Kelly's squad usually brings week in and week out.
And I thought Cherokee County played physically, and the one thing that I will say about the Warriors that we saw, there was absolutely no give up. I mean, they played, if the Tittle kid at quarterback didn't get blindsided and fumble the football, who knows what would have happened because they were sure on a march.
I thought he made some key throws, albeit in loss, but still, I think when you go longer term as far as the playoffs, especially against the better teams that they'll face in the postseason, I think that's an important development. Maybe one of those things you take a step back, but maybe 3 steps forward as far as what they can get for the postseason.
And the night before, of course, we were up at Pleasant Valley and saw the Raiders and Weaver in what was an incredibly lopsided football game. And, my takeaway from that, Joe, was watch out for Weaver next year. I think they're a playoff contending program under Ken Kofor.
They got better this year.
There is no question.
And Pleasant Valley's better this year. It's just, I think once that game developed the way it did, in fact, I heard that they started pulling starters out of the game, and it just became a different game in the second half.
Yeah, I think, Coach realized, what wasn't on the line and used the opportunity to play some younger kids because, James, after that fumble, when they were going, hopefully in for a touchdown, the party was over.
Oh, yeah, it just completely changed the whole tenor of the ball game when Pleasant Valley had that fumble in the Weaver red zone, and then Weaver on the very next play from scrimmage scores an 80-yard Keyshawn Allen touchdown reception from Caden Gooden. Then you might as well just have packed up our bags after that play.
The only thing I'll say about Weaver is they've got to find a replacement for Caden Gooden before next fall because obviously he's graduating and moving on and an incredibly talented athlete. But I really like what I saw in them this past Thursday. Other games around the area. I tell you somebody I hope we get a chance to see before their season is over, and it might come in week 2, which means we probably won't. But apparently Leeds has gotten a lot better. They just manhandled Center Point.
Shut him out. I think it's almost one of those cases where that Southside loss has really come back as far as being a long-term help for Leeds to kind of get them straightened out and really course correct them to where they are now.
Yeah, from what I understand, Leeds is playing like a team a little ticked off.
Oh, yeah, and don't forget that's coming off of also their rivalry 4-11 win over Moody the prior week.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Leeds is looking good, but it looks like they're going to run into Ramsey in week 2 in the playoffs, and that's, they're really the only team that came close to beating Ramsey last year in the playoffs. So we'll see what happens this time around. Anything else from this past Friday that just kind of sticks out to you?
Well, I was, Cleveland County, you got to give them some credit for, they start the season well. They had that awful stretch in the middle, and then found a way to do enough at the end to get themselves in the playoffs, and they beat a good Welborn team on the road.
Yep.
And I think they deserve some credit for getting their season turned back in the right direction.
I really did not pick them at all to win that ball game.
I didn't either.
You go into Welborn and play on the hill on senior night, you're going to get beat 9.5 out of 10 times. So I was really surprised when I saw that Cleveland County was able to go in and pick up that W, and it kind of makes me wonder what the mindset of Jeff Smith's team was on that particular night.
I wonder if maybe because there wasn't anything on the line for Welborn, if maybe more of the focus as far as maybe looking ahead to their first round game this week.
Or maybe more to the point what their mindset's going to be this week.
True.
I think maybe playing a 4A team right before the playoffs might have been some thought behind that.
Yeah. Well, they've got a team coming up this Friday in a game you'll see here on FNN on the NFHS network in Flomaton. They won a state championship, 2 or 3 years ago?
2018.
Yeah, 2018. There you see the graphic on the screen. Now, let me go through this real quick while we're on this. This is not a game you will see live for free on any of FNN's platforms. You will see our pregame show, which starts at 6:30. It will be on all of our normal platforms, but at 7 o'clock, don't call me saying, hey, the game's not on, because you know what? The game's not on. The game is only available on the NFHS network, and it is a subscription-based platform mandated by the state of Alabama and the Alabama High School Athletic Association for all playoff contests. And the game at the Hill Friday will be on the NFHS network. If you're not sure how to subscribe to that, you can go to our website at fnnnetwork.com. There's a couple of links that'll take you right to it, and you'll be all set to go on Friday. Don't wait to the last minute, though. The NFHS stuff can be kind of funny sometimes about how it works. So just get out there and, get those subscriptions in while you can before the game starts on Friday at 7 o'clock. We will be live on NFHS for Welborn and Flomaton. So there you go. There's that graphic, and you see it right there as Bama Sheds presents the playoffs on FNN.
And shameless plug here, at EastAlabamaSportsToday.com, I'll be giving you score updates all throughout the games Friday.
Now, how are you going to be everywhere?
Well, I have my little birdies that can send me score updates from different places.
You have what we call in the business stringers, right? There you go, little birdies.
Little birdies.
Okay, all right, let's talk about who's here tonight for the final show of the 2023 season. We'll get the graphic up for you. Nice lineup tonight. If you're from Spring Garden, well, you're probably already here. We're glad to have Spring Garden in the house as Coach Barrett Ragsdale of the football program joins us. Coach Ricky Austin is here to talk about the state volleyball title that they just picked up last week. And, of course, his daughter Ace Austin is here along with some of the other players. We'll talk volleyball. We'll talk basketball coming up. And, of course, our player of the week is here. Sam Adams, the coach of the Jackets, could not make it tonight. They're in some kind of strategy meeting or something that they do on Tuesdays for the playoffs, and he wasn't able to join us. But Mason Mims is here along with some of his teammates, and we'll have him on to make the Player of the Week presentation and talk about a big game with Athens coming up on Friday.
Yeah, that's going to be. Of course, Oxford gets them at home, and I like Oxford at home in that game. But yeah, that's going to be a good matchup.
So there you go. We'll start with Spring Garden. Barrett Ragsdale is up next when we continue right here on the Tuesday Night High School Football Coaches Show. We're at Struts Wings in Oxford, and you're with us here on FNN.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now, these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the FNM Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Family owned and operated for over 50 years, Miller Funeral Home is committed to providing families with the finest services for their loved ones, including our newest service, Aquamation. Aquamation is a gentle, respectful, and eco-friendly alternative to flame cremation. Miller Funeral Home is the only facility in the state of Alabama that offers the Aquamation service. Call us or visit our website today to learn more about how we can serve you and your loved ones.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
And welcome back to Struts Wings. Our FNN Tuesday Night High School Football Coaches Show enters our first interview segment of the evening. And we'd like to welcome to the table, if you can't tell by this USC-looking yellow here, is that yellow or light orange, or what do you call that, Coach?
It is bright.
It is bright. I will agree with that, but there's no doubt it's Spring Garden, is it?
It is. Go Garden, go.
There you go, GGG. That's it. All right, well, Coach Barrett Ragsdale with us. Getting ready for a big playoff game this Friday night when Coosa Christian comes to town. Coach, talk about your season a little bit. I mean, this has been your first year to kind of drive the boat. What's it been like?
It's been good, and having a good group of coaches and good group of kids around me has made that transition a lot easier. We've had a pretty good season this year. We've had some highs and had some lows, and I'm just real proud of this team and how they've gelled together, and they've got better every week, and that's all you can ask for.
Just talk about this matchup with Coosa this week. You played them a competitive game earlier this season. Played them some competitive games the last two seasons. How do you guys always seem to play them as tough as you do when others don't?
Right. Well, this is about our fourth time to play them. 2 seasons. Play them early in the week and got them round 2 last year. Early in the season, sorry, got them round 2 last year. It's going to be a hard-hitting football game. It's going to be a tough game. What they do it well. But our kids are ready, and I know their kids are going to come in and play a hard game. Our kids are going to play hard, but it's going to be an exciting game Friday night.
Coach, I would imagine, I don't know how many nachos you got in that concession stand up there, but you're probably going to need every one of them Friday night because I imagine there's not going to be many seats available in your place.
Well, with a lot of games around here moving to Thursday night, that'll help us too. And a lot of people are looking at this game, and, I think we'll have a good crowd. It'll be a fun atmosphere.
Talk about Chapel in the season he's had. And he's had to move around a little bit and do some different things for you, hasn't he?
Look, every time we break the huddle, especially early on in the season, where's Chapel Pope at? It's kind of like finding Waldo. You got to find Chapel. But he has done everything that we've asked him to do. Playing quarterback last year for us. He stepped in, coming in early in the season. He said, "Coach, I'll do whatever team needs me to do." So he's played quarterback, he's played running back, he's played split, he's played slot. So he's had a great senior year.
But having coached him, what's his spot? I mean, where do you want him to be?
Get the football.
In other words, he can run in with a water bottle as long as he's got the ball in the other hand,
Give him the football.
Coosa Christian does a lot of interesting things. To me, their passing attack is incredibly good for a 1A school. Talk about that just a little bit.
It is. You know, they protect the quarterback well. He throws a really good ball. Their routes are good. But, yeah, you're right. Their passing game is one of the strongest that I think we ever match up against. And so, yeah, I don't know what else you say about that. It's a really good part of their game.
Well, now, if my memory serves me correctly, he's a lefty too, isn't he?
He is. Yep.
Does that mess with players' heads? I mean, because everybody's used to seeing right-handed guys. I mean, is it weird or does it change the way you look at anything?
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, you know, he throws a good ball from the other side.
It just comes from a different direction.
Yeah. Spins a different direction.
Okay, so how do you neutralize that? Because obviously they work the run off the passing game. It's like they throw the ball to open up the run, and then they ding you for a really big running play. How do you neutralize that?
You just got to, you know, we preach to our guys every week, and especially against a team like this, you got to be disciplined with your eyes. They, you know, do a lot of stuff eye candy wise to get you off your reads. You've got to be disciplined to be on your read and not on the next man's read, and just play in your box.
Yeah, the one thing I would imagine that you can't do against a team like them is, you know, normally a team that runs the ball really well, you just put everybody in a box and say, go tackle somebody.
Yeah, you can't do that
this week. But you can't do that with these guys, can you?
No, not at all. They're very balanced.
I wanted to ask you a 30,000-foot question, just looking over there at your table. What's it like at Spring Garden when another blue map comes home?
Oh, man, it is.
Routine.
So, well, I mean, you know, stepping out of the sport, but anytime you get to watch, you know, our athletes on the court, you just get a sense of pride. I mean, you see these kids every day. You know what kind of kids, what kind of people they are. You know, the other coaches, you're so happy for them because you know the amount of work that they put in, the time that goes into it. So it's an honor, and it's a proud moment.
When I was at state volleyball last week, Avery Gowans, who went to school at Spring Garden and coaches Faith Christian now, he talked about the impact that Ricky has beyond the sports that he coaches. And could you kind of expound upon that a little bit?
Well, 14 years ago when I got hired at Spring Garden, I helped Coach Rat with basketball for 3 years. And especially at this point in my career, I can look back and I picked up a lot of stuff as a young coach that has helped me along the way for sure from Coach Austin.
Talk a little bit, Coach, about the community up there because, you know, we travel all over this part of the state. And, you know, everybody loves their team. We all know that. But there's a certain amount of electricity with Spring Garden that just is not everywhere else. I mean, it's just I don't know. It's kind of hard to put a finger on it, but it's kind of like the most passionate Alabama fans. You've got these Spring Garden fans, and it's GGG everywhere, and you know your colors, and but it's there's a humbleness to it.
Yeah, it's a down home community. You know, our kids grow up in this environment. They know what it's about. You know, 10 years ago, these guys were over playing cup ball on the side in the same environment. You know, now they're on the field, and those little kids on the other side of the fence, you know, are going to be where these guys are at one day, and they grow up in it. They see it, the support that you got from just generational, you know, families that are Spring Garden.
Well, I think Coach Kofer from over at Weaver said this on the show earlier this year. You know, in a small community like that, what else is there to do on a Friday night?
That's
Go
true.
Support the football team.
That is true.
Well, I imagine you're going to have a ton of support this coming Friday because there's a lot on the line. You know, there's all that bad blood stuff out there, and hopefully it'll turn into a really good football game, and, you know, you guys can prevail.
It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game.
Tell us about the players you brought with you tonight.
Tonight I got senior quarterback, running back, Chapel Pope.
Water boy.
Got junior receiver, defensive end, John Welch.
Okay.
Both these guys, you know, we've talked about Chapel. John he's really turned it on, midways through the end part of the season. He's really come on and been a key part of our passing game. He's an edge player on defense for us. So these two guys I brought with me tonight are huge parts of what we do and make us successful.
Can you have a winning team at Spring Garden that doesn't have a Welch or two on it?
It has been a while. It has been a while since we have not had a Welch on a team. So
I bet. Well, listen, Coach, again, thanks for coming down tonight. It's not the shortest of drives to get down here. Hopefully you enjoy your supper, and we're going to get James back in here to talk with your players and get a little more look at Friday night's matchup with Coosa Christian. Coach Barrett Ragsdale joining us from Spring Garden. We're going to grab another quick break, and when we come back, James returns with Chapel Pope and John Welch from Spring Garden straight ahead here on FNN.
Advantage Tire and Alignment on Highway 202 in Anniston is so much more than just a new tire and rim shop. There's not enough time in this ad to tell you all the many things they can do to help keep your car in tip-top shape. Advantage Tire uses ASE certified technicians, so you know any work done is top-notch. Bottom line, if it needs repaired or replaced, they can probably do the job and save you money. And when it comes time for new or used tires and rims, Advantage Tire and Alignment prices just can't be beat. Stop in and see Bruce and the crew today. Advantage Tire and Alignment.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
A lot of people always wonder, how does your first-time buyers program work? Hey, I'm here to tell you that we do bad credit, good credit, even no credit at all. I even got down payments as low as $500, even got cards as low as $169 a month. So stop by, let's check it out. Let's see if we can get you approved today. Come by at 411 East Street North, Talladega, Alabama, 35160. Telephone number 205-332-7993. Let's come get you a bill deal.
And we continue on the final week for us as far as the FNN Coaches Show. James Hardy with you as we continue to look at Spring Garden as we begin postseason play this week all across the state of Alabama. And going to be one of the more intriguing matchups regardless of classifications as the 1A playoffs begin. As it'll be Spring Garden hosting Coosa Christian on Friday night. James Hardy with you once again as we have Chapel Pope off to my left. Quarterback and running back wide receiver combo, John Welch with us. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thanks for letting us be here. Thanks for letting us be here.
So let's start with you, John. Just how excited are you to get postseason play going?
I mean, we played them week one, I think, and they kind of bossed us around. But we had a lot of turnovers that game, and I think we've got better with holding on to the ball, and not turning over as much.
So, Chapel, just kind of describe to us how you've seen this team improve and evolve since that first meeting with Coosa Christian.
We've improved a lot. Like, week by week, we've gotten better. Like, limited less turnovers, and like grew to get better together, like as a team.
And also, especially with having an open week in week 10 of the season last week, just how advantageous is it for y'all as a team to be able to have that open week before going into the postseason?
That's good. It gives us a break, like get your legs back up under you. I mean, and it makes you want to play more coming this week.
Oh, absolutely. And John, just how much of an advantage is it for y'all as far as coming up this week against Coosa Christian to already have played them in the regular season?
I know. I mean, like we can watch film and see what they did and everything, and what worked against their defense that we did and what didn't work, and we just got to capitalize on all that stuff.
So just what's the impression that you'll have as far as Coosa Christian when it comes to your scouting report?
I mean, they're a good team, and we're going to play nearly perfect to beat them because they do nearly everything perfect as well. But I mean, we're going to play.
So is there anything about them that impresses you the most?
Their speed of their defense. They're really quick.
And then same question for you, Chapel. What really impresses you about Coosa Christian?
They play really hard. Like, I'll give that to them. They play extremely hard. Their defense moves fast. Like, they send a lot of pressure.
And talk about especially postseason beginning, Spring Garden, especially tight-knit community, really supports y'all, the football team and the athletics program in general. Describe just the excitement as far as this week when it comes to the postseason beginning around the community.
Oh, yeah, that means a lot. Playoffs come around, winner go home. People in the community know that. They know come out and support, get us a big crowd. Easier to play when you got people in the crowd cheering for you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And Chapel, I know we saw y'all last season, right in the middle of the season against Cedar Bluff. You had a really good team last year. How has this team maybe evolved, and maybe how is it different than it was last year?
Yeah, we lost some good pieces last year, but we had like a bunch of people step up, fill in, like did a good job, like working over the summer, getting better, getting in the weight room, and like wanting it way more this year. Like, 'cause it felt like it was a bitter taste in our mouth losing last year on a field goal. Like, we don't want that to be the outcome this year.
And then who have you seen that's really stood out to you that's made that improvement from 2022 to 2023?
We've had a few, like our center, Tanner Ruart. He's had a big, like, off season in the weight room, getting better. Noah Barber, the person that plays quarterback when I'm not there, he's like doing his job on offense and on defense. The Welsh brothers, they put in that work. And we got a bunch more that I haven't mentioned, but like a bunch of people on the team's improved.
Describe the work you've put in from last year to this year.
I mean, we condition a lot, and everybody's in and grinding with everybody. Like, everybody's all in. We, like Chapel said, we had a bitter taste at the end of the season, getting beat last second field goal, and we got in the weight room over the summer and got grinded.
And also, y'all transitioned into Coach Ragsdale for this year in his first season, now completing almost a full actually have completed a full regular season now into your first playoff game with Coach Ragsdale. What's it been like playing under him?
I mean, it's not real much different because he's been there the whole time with Coach Howard, and all that's changed is he went to head coach, and Coach Howard ain't there anymore. But Coach McDonald, he's still there, and he does the offense and everything, and he still does the defense. So not much has changed.
So, Chapel, how's the team also seen Coach Ragsdale just grow into his role as the head coach?
I feel like at the start of the year, like, some people were questioning, like, the changes, like the small changes we made, but like week by week, the people have been buying in more and like doing what they've been asked to do, and it's been a big payoff.
So for this week, obviously huge game now that every game is meaningful because it is win or you're out from here on out. So what does you and your teammates need to do as far as taking the next step as far as the postseason and getting to the second round?
We just got to keep growing on, like, what we've had. Like, week by week, we've gotten better. These past 2 weeks have been good. This off week we've had last week, it was a good week of practice. We got to keep growing and, like, don't, like, go back to, like, where we started. Like, we just got to keep going forward.
And then, John, same thing for you. What does this team need to do as far as being able to get the W on Friday and advance to the second round?
I mean, everybody needs to lock in and realize that if you don't win, you don't play football anymore. And we just need to keep our minds on us and finish out the week good.
And then I'm curious as far as just kind of describe Chapel as a teammate and a football player.
He's a good leader. He makes sure everybody's on track doing what they're supposed to, and he plays hard. He never quits and does all his reps in the weight room. Everything keeps everybody on straight.
What's some of John's best characteristics as a football player?
He's got some good-looking hair on him.
I did notice that when I looked over to you for the first time when you came in today, as far as just that head of hair. How do you get it looking like that?
It just does what it wants to.
And then I'll tell you what, before we let you go and enjoy your meal, just what's on the menu for you here at Struts tonight?
Coach Ragsdale's going to make fun of me, but I got mild boneless wings.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What about you?
15 bone-in mild lemon pepper wings.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. A big thanks to both of you, Chapel Pope, John Welsh, two outstanding football players for Spring Garden, as they have one of the more marquee matchups across the state of Alabama on Friday night as they'll take on Coosa Christian on Friday up at Spring Garden. Big thanks for both of you for joining us, and certainly a good luck on Friday night.
Thank you.
The postseason is here, so it is win or you're out for all of the teams 1 through 7A across the state of Alabama beginning this week. We'll take the time out, and we still have a lot more. Our final edition and looking ahead to the playoffs this week when it comes to the FNN Coaches Show from Struts Wings in Oxford. More after this timeout.
Family owned and operated for over 50 years, Miller Funeral Home is committed to providing families with the finest services for their loved ones, including our newest service, Aquamation. Aquamation is a gentle, respectful, and eco-friendly alternative to flame cremation. Miller Funeral Home is the only facility in the state of Alabama that offers the Aquamation service. Call us or visit our website today to learn more about how we can serve you and your loved ones.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Griffin Laser Engraving in Lincoln is your authorized local dealer for personalized Yeti products. Get your Yeti customized for your team, a business, or a special event. Your color, graphics, even photos. At Griffin Laser Engraving, we make it the way you want it. Order just one or hundreds, and you'll find a full line of Yeti coolers and accessories on hand, even the hard-to-find items. Nationally recognized, but right here at home in Lincoln for quality awards, trophies, powder coating, and personalized Yeti items, Griffin Laser Engraving.
Family owned and operated for over 50 years, Miller Funeral Home is committed to providing families with the finest services for their loved ones, including our newest service, Aquamation. Aquamation is a gentle, respectful, and eco-friendly alternative to flame cremation. Miller Funeral Home is the only facility in the state of Alabama that offers the Aquamation service. Call us or visit our website today to learn more about how we can serve you and your loved ones.
And welcome back to Struts Wings in Oxford. It's the final FNN Tuesday night high school football coaches show of the 2023 regular season. It all ends for us tonight here, but for many teams around the area, it's only just begun.
Yeah, and hopefully a long run.
Yeah, and speaking of hoping for a long run, sitting to my immediate left is a young man who is, I would say, counting on it, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
Mason Mims, he is the junior quarterback of the Oxford Yellow Jackets, coming off a big win at Jacksonville this past Friday night. Obviously played incredibly well here for Player of the Week honors. But, Mason, let's talk a little bit about the game this past Friday. What was the mindset of your team going into that game? I mean, they came here and played you guys kind of close last year. Did you guys have a little extra motivation to get in there Friday night and kind of show them who the boss was?
Yes, sir. I mean, they're a great team, and we were picked to lose by 1 on some side, and I guess that just motivated us a little bit more.
Not me.
You didn't do that, did
No.
you? I'd have never picked you to lose, but I'd have picked it a little closer than it was because I saw Jacksonville twice this year, and I do think they have an incredibly talented team and another young man at quarterback like yourself who can really sling it.
Yes, sir, he can. He's a baller.
Yeah, I wouldn't have picked it that way, but Mason, one of the things I noticed in that game, and it's been kind of a season-long thing for you guys, is obviously got some man coverage, and number one's looking real good out there when you get man coverage. Just how much kind of chemistry have you two developed this year?
I mean, I feel like if I just throw the ball to him, he's going to catch it and he's going to make a play. So, I mean, it makes my job 100 times easier when I see man coverage and I can believe in him to get the ball.
What creates a dynamic between a receiver and a quarterback? I mean, you see it on every level of the game. The guy taking the snaps has got this one guy he wants to throw the ball to. How does that develop?
I mean, I guess just having confidence in each other and just working throughout the season, the off season, and just getting your timing down together.
How do you feel like you guys have ended the regular season, and what kind of just the sense of momentum, confidence going into the playoffs? Just where do you think this team is right now?
I mean, I think we prepare week in and week out, and I think we feel really good about this week against Athens. And, I mean, winning Week 10 is always good because you get to go into you're going at home, and, I mean, you just feel well prepared. So, I mean, we have a bunch of confidence right now.
All right, well, let me throw a little cold water on this conversation. What happened with Clay Chalkville? What was when you guys sit down and broke that game down, what did you decide was the determining factors in not competing or winning in that game?
First off, it starts with me. I mean, I got to play better. I mean, we got to start fast on offense. I mean, the defense did a great job. They kept us in the game. But from the standpoint of the offense, I mean, I got to do a better job leading.
Man, you were running for your life.
I mean, their line does great week in and week out. I mean, you can't blame that all on them. So, I mean, it's on me for that part of it. So,
recruiting is always a backdrop, and you've obviously picked up some offers this fall. Just kind of give us a sense of where things stand with all that right now.
Right now, I mean, I'm just really focused on this week. I mean, it's great. I mean, I love building relationships with the coaches. I mean, I just called Vanderbilt just a second ago before we got on air. So, I mean, it's just really great building relationships like that.
Have you decided what factors are going to determine where you might decide to go? I mean, when you're looking at options, what does it really come down to for you?
First off, just relationship with the coach and staff, and I mean, just waking up every day wanting to play there and live in the city like that, and them just having confidence in me. I mean, that really determines where I want to end up going.
How much of it is I'm going to get to play if I do my job sooner rather than later?
That is a big part in it. I mean, I want to get on the field. I mean, I'm a competitor. I mean, it's just who I am, and I just want to get on the field as soon as possible.
Yeah, Mason, you get to play two roles on the show tonight. Not only are you the player of the week, but you're sitting in the normal coach's interview slot here.
That's right.
So, Coach Adams, what do you like to play for?
That's pretty good, Joe.
I mean, yeah, I wish you could make it tonight, but they're in there. They're in there preparing right now. So we got to practice about 6. So, I mean, it was hard for him to get here. So it makes my job easier because he's preparing for us. So I'm glad he's doing that.
All right,
What does he like to play for, though, from your perspective?
What do you mean?
What's he like to play for?
Oh, what he's like? Oh, I mean, he's a great coach. I mean, I have a really good relationship with him. I mean, he believes in me, and I trust him, and I just know that game's on the line, he's going to give me the ball. So it's going to put me in a good position.
We have talked to, everybody from city officials to coaches to Mr. Harmon at the school, but we haven't really talked to players about the new facilities that you guys are in. Can you speak to what the mindset is of yourself and like your guys you brought with you tonight about where you guys get to go dress and work out? And I mean, it just seems like it'd be a dream to go to a place like that every day.
I mean, it's great. I mean, the guys before us, like in the past, have made that possible for us, and I mean, we're just really thankful to have a facility like that to practice in and dress in every week.
All right, last question for Coach.
Coach player. Just this matchup with Athens this week. When you look at them on film, what do you see?
They're a lot like Hartsville for sure. I mean, they run a bunch of zone. I mean, their offense is very similar. I mean, they're a really good team. They got players everywhere. I mean, it's going to be a good game. So we look forward to it.
Okay, I got an A and B for you, and we'll present you with the hardware and let you get back to your dinner. When Mason Mims isn't doing football or thinking football, what do you like to do? What are your hobbies? What do you do when you're not playing football?
I'm a golfer guy. I mean, I like golf.
Really? You play? Okay.
Yeah, I haven't been able to play this season. that much because, I mean, football came up. But once we get in the spring and stuff, I mean, I have fun time for it. And I really like lifting weights. I mean, I gained 20 pounds this off season, so it's a really big part of who I am.
Is baseball still on the radar?
I'm thinking about it. So I just have to see. I mean, I throw every day for the last, 8 months. So I just got to give my arms some time to rest for sure.
And the B part of my question is, what flavor's on the plate over there?
Oh, I just got mild boneless wings. So, yes, sir.
All right. Well, listen, congratulations on being our final Week 10 Player of the Week. Here's the Crystal Trophy to go with it. And congratulations on earning that this past week against a really good Jacksonville team.
Sir, thank y'all. I appreciate that.
And good luck Friday night against Athens. And you guys hang around a while, all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, good deal. Put that back in there. Don't break it. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll move back to Spring Garden. The guy that everybody knows as Rat is up next. Ricky Austin comes up next here on the FNN Tuesday night high school football coaches show. After we visit with the players from Oxford, who'd you bring with you tonight?
Kamari and JT.
Kamari and JT. All right, well, we're going to let James sit down with them when we continue coming up here on the Tuesday night high school football coaches show on FNN.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Advantage Tire and Alignment on Highway 202 in Anniston is so much more than just a new tire and rim shop. There's not enough time in this ad to tell you all the many things they can do to help keep your car in tip-top shape. Advantage Tire uses ASE certified technicians, so you know any work done is top-notch. Bottom line, if it needs repaired or replaced, they can probably do the job and save you money. And when it comes time for new or used tires and rims, Advantage Tire and Alignment prices just can't be beat. Stop in and see Bruce and the crew today. Advantage Tire and Alignment.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
We roll on the Tuesday edition, the first Tuesday of November here on the FNN Coaches Show, as this is our final FNN Coaches Show of the 2023 season. James Hardy back with you once again. The Oxford Yellow Jackets were spotlighting as they have their first round Class 6A playoff game just almost right across the street from us at Lamar Field, as they'll take on Athens on Friday night at 7 o'clock. And we have a couple of Yellow Jackets studs with us. Off to my left, Jaden Thomas, running back, and Kamari Hampton, first year at Oxford at wide receiver. A big thanks for both of you for joining us tonight.
Yes, sir. Glad to be here.
And then let's start with you, Jaden. I know you had a rough year last year, and we talked with you at Calhoun County Media Days over the summer, and you were really looking forward to getting back on the field this football season. How's the football season been for you, man?
It's going great. I love my teammates. My teammates been there for me. You know, my coaching staff's great. So, I love it. Love being out there with my brothers.
And then just what did it feel like for you, especially let's go back to that very first game, especially coming after a tough season, an injury-plagued season, 2022, just to be able to get through that first football game of the season injury-free.
It was energetic. Like, I feel like I had something to prove, like I had to prove my name again.
Right. And Kamari, really kind of the same for you as far as how's the season been for you, especially making that transition over to Oxford this year?
I mean, it's still football. The ball spins the same way. I mean, it really was no different.
Sounds like you just kind of have at your core kind of a business-like personality.
Yes, sir.
Just how was it, especially a very successful year for you and your teammates this year? Just how's the regular season been for you?
I mean, it's been great. Coming into Oxford, like the team been great. They all treated me and my brother like family. It's a brotherhood. Like when you're on the field, you willing to do anything for your brothers.
Let's go back as far as just kind of take us into the process of what led you to Oxford.
I mean, everything's better in Oxford. Like everything's bigger. It's always go big O. So like everything's better. You got to play at a high level because it's like Oxford. So
there you go. How's the relationship with Coach Adams?
Oh, I mean, Coach Adams is great. I like him. He's an offensive guy. I mean, he likes to pass the ball around. That's why I like to catch the ball. So.
There you go. And Jayden, just kind of how's Coach Adams been as far as especially now that he's kind of settled into now through 3 full seasons at Oxford?
Good. I feel like he actually knows the players, right? So he gonna put us all in position to win.
And let's kind of expand on that. How's the chemistry been on this year's team?
It's been great. Like, we throwing the ball good, we're running the ball good. Everybody's working as one. It's like one heartbeat on there.
And then now that obviously a big win over Jacksonville to close out to put a black and gold bow, we'll say, on the regular season against Jacksonville on the road last week against a pretty good 4A squad. But now that you're in the playoffs, what's the mood been like as far as inside the walls of the football program with the team as far as looking ahead to this week's first round playoff game?
We have a saying that we say is prove it. So, like, going into the playoff is 0-0 for everybody. So the season started over. So, like, we're ready to go show what we got.
Just how enthusiastic is this team, Kamari, to get the postseason started?
We ready to prove ourselves, prove that we belong, and we're the top dog.
And then as far as Mason, who we just talked about, who we just had on, I should say, before we brought y'all on, just kind of describe how the year's been for Mason. What's it like playing with him?
It's amazing. I mean, I never see him like worried. Like, he's always under when he got the pressure, he stay calm. He's the most calmest QB I ever played with, and he's just amazing.
Kind of that steadiness, that poise. Jayden, does the team kind of sense that, especially on y'all side of the ball?
Yes, we do. We understand that. Like, we trust Mason. So, like, he makes us feel calm. Like, even when situations get bad, he's still in there, calm and steady, sticking to the plan.
Because now that we're at crunch time of the season, what's the potential for this team as far as the postseason?
We focus on one game at a time. I can't even talk about later.
So is that kind of – I'm curious to know, you basically both of you talked about as far as one game at a time, that kind of business-like mentality of going through the task at hand in front of y'all. Is that kind of been a point of emphasis from Coach Adams for y'all?
Oh, yes, sir. Most definitely. He making sure, like, we stay one game at a time, taking it slow, just worrying about playing to our best ability, worrying about getting better as a team.
I know both you and JT, outstanding football players. I know that we got to see a couple weeks ago, albeit in a loss against one of the top teams in the state of Alabama in Clay Chalkville. What did y'all learn as far as just as far as the lessons from that loss a couple weeks ago?
I mean, we learned, like, we basically can play with anybody. Seeing that, we just got to make sure we, like, make them keep three plays away from winning the ball game. We got to make sure we make them plays next time.
And then, Jayden, as far as just how fun is it for you just to step out on the football field and be able to display your talents on a Friday night?
It's great. It's no feeling like that out there. Like, if you're a football player that, play high school, you talk to them older people, they always say ain't nothing like high school ball. So I'm just sitting here living it up while I can, soaking all it up.
I can say from a broadcaster's perspective, I can kind of feel that too. And Kamari, as far as just, I know, at least from my broadcast perch, there's always kind of that adrenaline rush right before we go on as far as our 6:30 countdown to kickoff as part of our games of the week. What's that adrenaline rush like feeling for y'all as far as when you come out of that pregame locker room and step on the field for game day?
I mean, like, I've been doing this for a minute now, so, like, when I get ready to come out of the game, like, I already got in my mind, I know it's game time, I'm already ready.
So as far as for both of y'all, first for you, Kamari, when you're away from the football field, what do you enjoy doing?
Honestly, like,
is there like a hobby that you like to enjoy, or hanging out with your friends, or something like
I'll
that?
be still being active. I'll go shoot some basketball or something. I'm at the crib just chilling with my family.
There you go. And same for you, Jayden.
So either I go work out or I'm at home chilling too.
Very good, very good. So, Jayden, where have you seen yourself improve the most this season as a football player?
Improve the most?
Yes.
I'll say vision.
Very good. And go ahead.
No, that's it, just my vision.
Very good. And Kamari, same for you.
Breaking down a different type of coverages, like reading defense.
Very good, very good. Oh, and also as far as at Struts tonight for your meal, what was your selection tonight?
I got the Cowboy burger.
Nice.
No jalapenos. I don't like the hot stuff.
Oh, I love the hot stuff myself, but good choice. Same for you, Jayden.
Philly cheesesteak, classic. You can't never go wrong.
Very good, very good. Now, as far as let's say the pregame meal, what would be your go-to as far as a meal you like to have before you hit the football field for a game?
Honestly, that Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich has been doing it. I mean, that chicken sandwich, that's what they give us. So.
Okay. How about you, Jayden?
If I had to choose anything that my mama makes for me.
I like that.
Yeah.
She can cook really good.
Really good.
Very, very, very nice. So we still have a lot more of the FNN Coaches Show to go, and certainly a big thanks both of you, Kamari and Jayden, for joining us, and good luck this Friday night.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
So we still have a lot more to go on our final edition. In fact, our final 30 minutes and change to go here for the 2023 season. It's the FNN Coaches Show from Struts Wings in Oxford. Stay with us.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now, these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the FNM Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Family owned and operated for over 50 years, Miller Funeral Home is committed to providing families with the finest services for their loved ones, including our newest service, Aquamation. Aquamation is a gentle, respectful, and eco-friendly alternative to flame cremation. Miller Funeral Home is the only facility in the state of Alabama that offers the Aquamation service. Call us or visit our website today to learn more about how we can serve you and your loved ones.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
And welcome back to Struts here in Oxford for more of the FNN Tuesday Night High School Football Coaches Show, our last one for the 2023 football season. And to my left, joining us is certainly one of the deans of coaches in our area here in the state, Coach Ricky Austin. Not a football fame, but gosh, you've done about everything else, hadn't you?
It's been a busy 27 years for sure.
What was you said the last 2 weeks. What was that like for you? I mean, because you've done so many things and you've had so much success. What was something like that was different?
You know, Joe asked me at the press conference after the game how, this was different than winning one in basketball, and I thought that was a great question because it really resonated how I felt at that time. It was different. It was really special. I don't know, it seems like the volleyball has been such more of a harder accomplishment to get to that level because it's been 100% self-taught. You play a little basketball, you understand the game, but never have played the game of volleyball, and really, just picking people's brain and studying and going to coaching clinics and learning from failures, taking a failure and trying to turn it into something positive. So yeah, it was very satisfying, and had a really good, just a feel good win.
And then just on a personal matter, to be able to share state championships in 2 sports with your daughter, what was that like?
I get that question asked a lot, and right now it's just another player on the team. That's kind of the way it feels. It is special. I'm sure one day down the road we're going to look back and think, wow, how fun was that with my daughter? But they're all my daughters, and I feel like we treat them all the same. And, really I don't feel that difference. Yeah, the ride home after the game, we got back to the gym that Friday and late night after the bus ride, and me and her ride home after the game. And I just wanted to pinch myself to make sure, is this really happening? But in the heat of the moment, it's just like another player on the team, Joe.
I guess what would make the volleyball thing a little more special is you're almost expected to compete for basketball every year, but maybe you weren't the favorite for volleyball, and maybe that's what made it different.
Yeah, it was. We felt the underdog role, and we liked that role, actually. But we felt that underdog role, and knowing that as soon as the classifications come out every year, I immediately look, where's Donahoe, where's Addison? you got to go through those two to have success on that level. And so Donahoe went up, Addison, 1A. So as soon as that happened, those kids started talking, we've got to beat Addison. They didn't talk about the route to get to Addison. This year it immediately went to, we've got to beat Addison. I mean, they've been in the state championship game every year since 2007. So to match up with them in the semifinals and to know what that game was like, I think everybody knew this is the state championship game. No disrespect to University Charter. They were a great team, come out of the South, made it to the championship game. But us and Addison was on a, path all year to play each other. And so, to just not just get in that game with them, I think I've played Addison 5 times, and the first time I've ever beat them a set was in the regionals this year. So I think, it had a complete different feeling being the underdog, not expected to win it, and then to win that game, and the feeling after that Addison game was up there with anything that I've ever been in athletics. The accomplishment to beat Addison, to have a team that wanted to beat them, and to see how they performed that night, very, very satisfying as a coach.
You're known for scouting and preparation. How did you turn the tables on them this time?
We did scout. This is the first year I went and watched them live. I've never been in their gym. I respect Addison's program so much. Their old legendary coach, Pam Wilkins, me and her are friends. She's retired now, and, she just kept, always complimenting our team, and that gave me hope. I said, man, somebody from Addison's complimenting my volleyball team? This is big time. But we scouted them. Assistant coaches had watched them play 5 games live. I had watched them play 2 games live. We had 8 or 9 different film on them. Really, the tweaks after the regionals, they beat us 3-2. And so we took a few things, very few things, but one of the main things we did is we shifted our rotation around to where the first of the game, Ace was always on the front row to start the match. Usually we were in serve receive, we start with her in the back left and then bring her once side out to the front, but couldn't do that against Addison. You had to stay even or ahead to have a chance. If you got behind 3 or 4 points, they knew how to finish. And I had learned that over the years. We needed to stay even or ahead. That's the only thing we really did was we shifted Ace around where we could be a little bit more aggressive offensively to maybe stay even and put more pressure on them. I don't know if that was the trick, but it worked, Joe.
All right, Coach. Talk about the popularity of volleyball. It seems like to me that that's the next big high school sport in our state. I mean, of all the things that people ask us about doing, we do football, we do basketball, we do baseball, we do softball, but we have more people ask us about doing volleyball stuff, and we can see it on the rise.
Absolutely. The National Federation High School Magazine I get every year, and a couple of years ago they were talking about how there's a decline in high school girls basketball as far as the numbers, but there's still an increase in overall athletes football, boys, girls, it's still climbing, it's still growing every year for like 15 years in a row. There's more kids playing athletics. Decline in high school girls basketball, but a big increase in volleyball. And, it's not new to Calhoun County. Calhoun County's been playing high-quality volleyball for a long time.
Right.
They're one of the, pioneers for volleyball in our state. And I think now the outskirts, there's more club ball. Girls are really attracted to it. That magazine gives some reasons why they think girls are more attracted to volleyball now than maybe basketball. And, it is a shift that way. And I think what Caitlin Clark has did out in Iowa, really helped bring something back to high school basketball nationwide that I think that might get another increase on basketball this time for girls. I think it was such an exciting, the viewership was so high. I think it's still real close, but most definitely volleyball has really come alive in the last 5 years.
You coach a lot of girls that play both. What's the sense you get from them about what they like about each sport and any insights there?
Our girls, they just like to compete. We had 9 basketball players on the volleyball team this time. All my basketball players was on the volleyball team, so the competition and the chemistry that they built with each other and maybe the sisterhood that they got going on, they just want to play for each other. But some girls like volleyball because maybe it's not so demanding, the conditioning, the number of hours. Now, I don't want to insult volleyball by saying that, but there is a difference in the type of work that's done. I think you could poll our girls, and they would agree that basketball practice is harder to prepare for the season than volleyball.
Interesting. Well, you mentioned Caitlin Clark. If there's a Caitlin Clark in high school basketball around here, it's your little girl.
Wow, that's a huge compliment.
Well, yes, it is. But it leads me to my question about her. How have you kept her so grounded?
She is grounded, and I think she keeps me grounded. She is very humble, but I think she's just been raised in it. Her aunt being the head coach at Jacksonville State so many years and having so much success and such a humble person. Her mother was always humble. And, seeing her brothers come through and have success and probably never accomplish what they wanted to accomplish as far as championships. They were good players, but I think that has driven her. So she's never got too high because she's knows that it could change at any time, and she saw the disappointment in them when they didn't accomplish what they wanted to. And so it's really nothing I don't think that I've done. It's I think she's just very hungry, and I don't think she's accomplished the things she wants to accomplish, and that's what I absorb from her right now anyway.
Her athleticism obviously shows in basketball, but it shows in a different way in volleyball, I thought. You don't see too many 5'8" hitters hit downhill like that. And can you speak to that aspect of just what kind of athlete she's become?
Yeah, most definitely some God-given ability. And we know that. She knows that. But hard worker. I think her jumping probably came from, I tell everybody this, when she was second, third grade, she was lowering that basketball goal in the backyard trying to dunk LeBron James and Kobe Bryant. So when her brothers would go in, she's out there trying to simulate what he did and they did. And I think that had along with, of course, with some fast twitch muscle fibers that are in there, but I think that's where her foundation started. And, I have taken it for granted when I see it in a game, but when I see pictures and, there was one game, the top of the net got hung under her arm, and I was like, whoa, that's very unusual. But, it's something that's kind of came natural, Joe. It's not – we have a jump program, and it affects all of us, but it's really affected her, yes.
Well, we're going to, we've talked a lot about Ace. We're about to bring her in here and join us. But tell us about the other girls you brought with you tonight, Coach, because we're going to get those in here as well.
All right. So I got Chloe Rule, who is a middle blocker, middle hitter on the volleyball team, but also a post player /4 for us in basketball. And then I've got Layla Ingram, who does not play basketball, volleyball only. She plays softball, but she plays volleyball, but she's our libero. Both of them were all state tournament team. And, you know, you want to talk about toughness and grit and all that. The libero has to be tough. And what Layla brings to this team defensively, she doesn't get a lot of recommendation from, you know, tournament teams or in the newspaper, things like that. But her and a few more of our defensive specialists is really, Chloe gets a lot of attention because they're hitters, but their defense and toughness on the back row is just what has carried us to another level this time.
All right, well, we're going to let Joe step out. We're going to take a quick break. Coach, you stay with us. We're going to bring Ace in. Then we'll visit with the other two young ladies with James in just a bit right here on the FNN Tuesday Night High School Football Coaches Show. You stay with us.
Advantage Tire and Alignment on Highway 202 in Anniston is so much more than just a new tire and rim shop. There's not enough time in this ad to tell you all the many things they can do to help keep your car in tip-top shape. Advantage Tire uses ASE certified technicians, so you know any work done is top-notch. Bottom line, if it needs repaired or replaced, they can probably do the job and save you money. And when it comes time for new or used tires and rims, Advantage Tire and Alignment prices just can't be beat. Stop in and see Bruce and the crew today. Advantage Tire and Alignment.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
And welcome back to another segment from Strutt's Wings here in Oxford on the FNN Tuesday Night High School Football Coaches Show. Coach Ricky Austin to my left, and to my right, a young lady that doesn't need much of an introduction. She's been here, there, and everywhere. Ace Austin, off the state championship volleyball team.
Yes, sir.
How's that sound?
Sounds actually really great. Something not a lot of people would have probably expected.
Talk about what that was like for you. I mean, you know, everybody knows you're Miss Everything on the basketball floor, but, you know, to accomplish something like you and your teammates did that wasn't necessarily expected. Talk about how all that transpired and what it means to you.
Well, last year when we got beat by Addison, it was right when that ended, we said we wanted to be back and that it was going to happen. And through all the practice this year, ever since the summer practices of volleyball, we knew that this was going to be our year, that we had the determination that it was going to be done. But everybody put in the hard work that was needed.
Now, your dad said that he sensed or recognized that the team had the mission to beat Addison this time.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, instead of just, you know, wanting to do well, there was a purpose. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yes. Well, as I said, we wanted to be that. We wanted to – there's a lot of people on the team that hasn't felt that. You know, Layla and Helena, they had never got to experience that. But it was at the beginning of the season, he said, for us to make it as far as we can, be a good teammate and be a good person, and that'll get you a long way. And that got us to the state championship. I mean, just us being there for each other. And, you know, we've had some bad days, bad practices, and just the little touches we had on each other, that carried us to what made us win state.
I'll ask you both basically the same question, one from a coach's perspective and one from a player's perspective. What's the difference in coaching / playing volleyball versus basketball? I'll let you start, Ricky.
Wow, tough question. You know, really, there's no difference. You know, people won't believe this, but we have not touched a basketball since last June. That was team camp in June. We have not touched a basketball until Monday. on the flip side of that, during basketball season, we do not touch a volleyball. And so these kids are smart. They know that we don't take a shortcut in basketball. When it comes to basketball, we don't take short. So when volleyball starts, I can't take a shortcut there either. Oh, I would love to get a basketball in their hands, during volleyball season, but we don't. And so we don't treat them any different. They are the same seriousness. The kids want to win. The coaches want to win. And so we put even work in. So, there's no difference in that. I think the community now, we never have we have community support, but the community does not necessarily support volleyball during the season. Now in the playoffs, state tournament, we had a phenomenal crowd, and that was our seventh man that carried us. But now during the regular season, that gym's packed for basketball.
Oh, yeah.
Volleyball, we have to be patient and let our crowd still get used to that sport. But other than that, we take it at the same seriousness.
All right, he's coaching. Now you're playing. What's the difference in playing volleyball versus basketball?
As he said, the fans obviously, but as we made it to the playoffs, our football team being there, that was a huge help because you could tell, especially in that Addison game. But none of us take shortcuts, so that's the thing with us and me playing, or all of us playing, basketball and volleyball. We're not gonna leave anything out. We're going to give everything we got in one sport at that time. We're not going to cut it out on anybody else because, we wouldn't want them to do it to us, and we're going to give everything we have at that time. And, it's the support system they're still there, in volleyball. Even if they're not there watching you still every day going up the hallways. It's a good game. Everybody knows that you played, Even on Facebook, you got parents and grandparents, everybody saying, good congratulations to the volleyball team. But, even if they're not there, we know they're rooting for us.
Coach, Ace brings up such a great point, and it's about your community up there. Probably the closest thing to Hoosiers I can think about. The way the support is up there. It's all GGG, crowds, the passion for the sports there at the school. There's not a lot of communities in our part of the state that have what you guys have.
It's special, most definitely. It is special. And I go out nationwide, statewide. I hear what other coaches are saying about their programs, and I'm going, really? And I don't, some of it's similar to what we have, but some of it's not. And, for us to be such a small community, I think Spring Garden is what high school athletics was intended to be. It should be a community interest. That community interest, if those football lights are not on Friday night, we don't have a school. That school's been shut down if them football lights are not on Friday night. We got real close to that back in the mid-'90s when we didn't have football for a year or two, and that's the only time our school's ever been talked about for being shut down. But as soon as those football lights came back on Friday nights, at that school and that athletic and the community has done nothing but keep growing. And so it is the heartbeat of the community. We have elderly people in our community that I think that's their purpose when they wake up is what event is going on at the school, and they can't wait to get there.
Is the concession stand open yet?
Exactly. And I'm blessed just to be a part of it, and I know it's a special place.
All right. Well, I couldn't have you two here and not talk about my personal favorite sport, which is basketball.
Sir.
All right, Ace, let's drill this down a little bit. What's it like for you knowing that every time you step on the floor, the other team wants their best guy or girl on you? That they want you. They want to shut you down. They want to take away what you bring to every game.
To me, that's just more motivation for me to be even better. Growing up with two brothers, that's helped, obviously.
Yeah, I heard about a little backyard basketball.
Yeah, but, for me, all I say is bring it on. I've got that competitiveness in me, and so, even in basketball, I got great teammates too. I've got really great teammates, so I mean, if they put the best player on me, there's 4 other people out there that they've got to worry about too. But I'm just blessed for, for other teams to be able to think that. So I just keep being me.
How does he get in your grill? I mean, how does he get you and not be dad to get you?
Oh, he knows how to. Trust me. Yeah, you can ask all the other teammates. So he knows how to, but during practice, he'll get on me. He'll get on me in games. He'll turn to a dad maybe once, and it's if he can tell I'm a little tight at the end of the game, he'll just say loosen up and have fun. That's all that matters. And I mean that's the dad moment that comes out of him. But other than that, he sure can get into me.
You've coached her since. I mean, it just seems like she's been playing for 10 years.
Yeah, she does really.
What are you going to do without her?
Really? Good question. I'm trying not to think about that right now.
Well, you got a couple more years, so you might as well make the best of it.
I got a new granddaughter, 6 or 7 weeks old, so, maybe she'll be able to dribble the ball pretty soon.
I'm sure you're working on it. How do you maintain the level you've had up there? I mean, players come and go, Coach, but in a small town like that, great players are just hard to come by, but it seems like you just keep churning them out.
I'm lucky, blessed. I really can't answer that. I think, for me to keep going, it's who I wanted to be. I wanted to be a high school girls coach. I wanted to coach girls basketball really because of what I saw my wife and her twin do when they were in high school. Able to do some summer workouts with them when they were getting prepared for college and to see what they could do and how they affected the game. And I thought, well, we got girls here just like them, coming. And I've been lucky that we've got girls that want to play, that understand the commitment, I got parents. I've got good parents. I've got great parent support that let me coach their kids. And we all know that's not everywhere. Yeah, we still have our battles, but I've got just a great situation where people expect us to win. And I think as long as you've got an expectation, you've got a chance. We know there's places out there that doesn't have an expectation in girls' sports. They just play. But there is an expectation there for us to win, and there we go. We got something that we can work with right there.
Well, if you guys keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to have to build another gym just to have a place to hang the banners.
Hey, that's okay with us.
That's a good thing.
All right. Let me say something to you and get you to respond. Caitlin Clark.
I love her.
Would you like to be like her? Or is Ace Austin a different kind of Caitlin Clark?
I don't want to be known as anybody else, but
right.
If somebody's going to describe me as a player, I would love to be her, but I'd like to create my own name.
Right. All right. Well, you're pretty much signed, sealed, and delivered for after high school, right?
Well, I'm going to go play somewhere. I haven't decided that
yet.
yet.
I'm sure you're going to play somewhere. I don't have a whole lot of doubt about that. Well, listen, we could sit here and talk basketball forever, but we got to get your teammates in here from the volleyball team. Ricky, thank you so much for coming down. We'll see you on the floor, young lady.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
All right. Ace Austin, Ricky Austin from Spring Garden will have their teammates from the state championship volleyball team join James coming up next here on FNN.
A lot of people always wonder, how does your first-time buyers program work? Hey, I'm here to tell you that we do bad credit, good credit, even no credit at all. I even got down payments as low as $500, even got cards as low as $169 a month. So stop by, let's check it out. Let's see if we can get you approved today. Come by at 411 East Street North, Talladega, Alabama, 35160. Telephone number 205-332-7993. Let's come get you a bill deal.
Family owned and operated for over 50 years, Miller Funeral Home is committed to providing families with the finest services for their loved ones, including our newest service, Aquamation. Aquamation is a gentle, respectful, and eco-friendly alternative to flame cremation. Miller Funeral Home is the only facility in the state of Alabama that offers the Aquamation service. Call us or visit our website today to learn more about how we can serve you and your loved ones.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver Card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
And we're coming down the home stretch on our final edition for the 2023 season of the FNN High School Football Coaches Show. James Hardy with you. And while we'll be seeing a lot of teams, including a couple of 3A teams on Friday, begin their journeys toward a state championship, we have one team, at least from our area, that is just across the finish line when it comes to their state championship journey, the Spring Garden volleyball team, having taken home a blue map, as we have Layla Ingram and Chloe Rule with us. And a big thanks to both of you ladies for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
And first off, just kind of describe the feeling being state champions.
It's really surreal, honestly. We, of course, did it 7 months prior in basketball, and it still feels just as good. It's great.
And then, Layla, what's it? Just kind of describe as far as Spring Garden being state champions on the volleyball court.
Yeah, I mean, it was my first time ever winning a state championship, so it was pretty cool to be able to experience that.
So what was that kind of emotional adrenaline rush like as far as when that final point was made and y'all got to lift up a blue map?
Oh, yeah. Me and my teammate were just talking the whole time. We're like, it's about to happen. We're about to be state champs.
And I know you mentioned we got to see as far as the basketball team last February as far as the Northeast Regionals up at Jacksonville State. Obviously, the Spring Garden ladies basketball team has built quite a powerhouse as far as the basketball court goes when it comes to state championships. But does it ever really, especially for you, get old as far as just being able to come out on top when it comes to a state championship?
No, I don't think it ever really gets old. It's just a great feeling, and I don't think we ever really get truly satisfied because we just want to come back and do it again the next year.
Well, as far as this year, just kind of take us on that state championship journey from the start of the season to now.
Well, at the beginning of the season, we had just come off of that state championship in basketball, and then we had been knocked out by Addison the year prior, and I think that just lit a fire in us that made us really want to go get there.
And then, Layla, just kind of describe as far as just what was, I guess, maybe a mindset as far as this team when it comes to what it took to get to hoist a blue map.
Oh, yeah. With Addison, we had lost the year prior, so we knew everybody had to be on their game. We had to be doing our best. And it was just, I knew I had to do my part because when we played them the first time, I was having I wasn't doing what I'm used to. So we practiced at practice how there's this one server, because she was messing with me the whole time, and I knew I had to change my mindset to be better for my team. So, I mean, yeah, it was just getting up there, playing on, I've never played in a state championship game, so I was just trying to take it as, you need to make sure you do your best to help everybody out.
So kind of describe the lessons that you learned as far as what it takes to win a state championship.
Well, I knew that I had to be a good teammate. I couldn't get overwhelmed being on, the big stage. It was just, you look around and it feels like you're so tiny out there. So it was an incredible feeling.
And then, Chloe, just kind of describe the competition y'all faced. Was there a team especially in the postseason, that really stood out to you, that gave y'all a test during your postseason run?
I think that obviously the biggest game we played all year up until the state championship game postseason was, of course, the Addison game, just because I feel like it was a real big rivalry against us, just because Addison had always ended up on top against us, and it was just a real motivation factor for us. They had some real good hitters that had returned from the year prior, and they were everywhere on the court, and you just had to find those open spots or else.
Of course, as far as being a part of one of the best state girls varsity basketball programs in this state, when you win at a high level year in and year out, you're going to have a target on your back and get your opponent's best shot, regardless of how good or maybe not so good that they are. Is that the same way on the volleyball court as far as when Spring Garden faces an opposing team?
I definitely feel like just because we're pretty well known, I feel like, and it definitely makes people play their best game against us. Because you'll watch people in film and you'll wonder if that's truly like their best standard or not, and then we'll get to play them and they're a higher up level than you thought they were.
And then just describe, as far as I know, Spring Garden, a real tight-knit community, especially when it comes to y'all and all of the athletics programs. Just kind of what was the community reaction like when y'all got back home after taking home another state championship?
Yeah, so we had a police escort, and then we had, like, everybody at Jack's. My parents, they were popping, like, confetti poppers and everything. Like, the student section was really big. That's a big deal when it comes to playing at a big game or whatever. And it was just, and my dad, he went to the student section and he was going crazy. Yeah.
Like he was a student again.
Yeah, they wanted him over there, and yeah, he was just going wild. He was getting pumped up and all kinds of stuff.
What's the support like as far as just among the athletes when it comes to y'all playing during your particular seasons?
Yeah, if one of us is having a bad day, we always got to be a good teammate. Like, it's not, if we're all yelling at each other, that does not help. So that was Coach Wright's thing: be a good teammate from the get-go, and everything else will take care of itself.
And then, Chloe, I imagine will y'all be out as far as supporting the football team when it comes to the postseason on Friday?
Yes, we always like to, especially when it's at home, be there and try and be loud for our guys, and it's a pretty big one this week.
So I imagine you'll be back out on the basketball court this fall or this season?
Yes, sir, I will be.
Y'all expect to take home another blue map?
That's where our standards are.
There you go. There you go. First off, a big thanks for both of y'all, Layla Ingram and Chloe Rule, for joining us, and certainly congratulations, a heartfelt congratulations on taking home a blue map.
Thank you.
We still have a little bit more for the season as far as the FNN coaches shows, so stay tuned as we'll put a bow on the 2023 season after this.
Griffin Laser Engraving in Lincoln is your authorized local dealer for personalized Yeti products. Get your Yeti customized for your team, a business, or a special event. Your color, graphics, even photos. At Griffin Laser Engraving, we make it the way you want it. Order just one or hundreds, and you'll find a full line of Yeti coolers and accessories on hand, even the hard-to-find items. Nationally recognized, but right here at home in Lincoln for quality awards, trophies, powder coating, and personalized Yeti items, Griffin Laser Engraving.
Family owned and operated for over 50 years, Miller Funeral Home is committed to providing families with the finest services for their loved ones, including our newest service, Aquamation. Aquamation is a gentle, respectful, and eco-friendly alternative to flame cremation. Miller Funeral Home is the only facility in the state of Alabama that offers the Aquamation service. Call us or visit our website today to learn more about how we can serve you and your loved ones.
As is the case when you do the 2-minute drill, there's not a lot of time to, dilly-daddle around. Let's talk about games this Friday night real quick, Joe, and what you see ahead.
Athens, especially when you hear Mason talk about Athens is comparable to Hartselle. That was a pretty good game. Oxford lost that game this year, but I think Oxford's playing pretty well right now, and I think that's going to be an interesting matchup. I'm interested to see Jacksonville and Bayside Academy, too. I think that's going to be a really – when you're crossing with Region 1 and Class 4A, even the 4 would be a tough opponent.
I think UMS Wright at Central Clay County this Friday night, James, is a huge matchup. Two winningest coaches in the state of Alabama's history going at one another in Terry Curtis and Danny Horn. Clay County, of course, reeling with the loss of their everything back from I think he broke his leg this past week. Hate to hear that. But we'll see how Coach Horn adjusts to that and what kind of game they can give UMS Wright.
Absolutely. I think our game is going to be a pretty interesting game. Going to be as far as two almost similarly matched teams, especially when it comes to the styles of play. So I imagine we may be seeing, Jim, as far as one of our most physical games we've seen all season long.
All right, let me dot the I's and cross the T's on this one more time. Jake, if you'll put the slide up. Flomaton at Walter Welborn this Friday on the FNN Game of the Week. Bama Sheds presents the playoff. You can watch the pregame show free on all of our usual, Facebook, YouTube, Roku, everything that you can get us on a regular basis. But at 7 o'clock, kickoff goes directly to NFHS, and that is the only place you can watch the game. If you're watching on any of the FNN regular platforms, you're going to see that go away and switch to another game of some sort of replay that we've done over the season. If you want to watch the game from the Hill, you've got to subscribe to the NFHS network. If you don't know how, go to our website. There's links that'll take you straight to the subscription page, and you'll be all set for Friday night when we kick it off at 7 o'clock. Pregame starts at 6:30 as usual. Well, guys, this wraps up our 5th season of doing this show from Strutt's Wings here in Oxford. And, you can't do things like this without sponsors. We want to thank all of those folks that have made this possible for us throughout the season. And, of course, Adam and his crew here at Strutt's have just been spectacular each and every week. It's great to come to a place that feels like home every Tuesday when you come here. And, Joe, I imagine you about run them out of egg rolls.
You can never get enough egg rolls. When I go to Strutt's at Jacksonville, I do the same thing.
All right. Well, I'll see you Friday night.
Absolutely.
I may or may not see you Friday night. I think that's still up in the air. But we will see you Friday night on the NFHS network from the Hill. For our entire crew, for Alonzo Kirby on the cameras behind the scenes, Jake Jacobs running the computer, for my partner over to my left, James Hardy, and Joe Medley from East Alabama Sports Today, or EA Sports Today, I should say. I'm Jim Jacobs. Have a great evening, and we'll see you Friday night for round 1 of the playoffs.
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff.
And we welcome you into the final week of the 2023 regular season for the AHSAA football season as our FNN Game of the Week, brought to you this week by Bluefin Japanese Sushi and Steakhouse, brings you to Pleasant Valley from Raiders Stadium right in the heart of Calhoun County for our first of two games this week here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week. It is Pleasant Valley having one of their best seasons in over a decade, facing the Bearcats of Weaver in the final game of the regular season for both teams. It is senior night here at Pleasant Valley, so the Raiders will have 7 of their seniors honored prior to tonight's ball game. And for the Weaver Bearcats, this is their final game of the 2023 season. We welcome you in. A happy game day on a Thursday game day for you, wherever you're watching us from. James Hardy with you. Normally Coach Eddie Bullock with us, but he's under the weather, has caught that respiratory virus that's been going around at least our area of Alabama for about the last, almost seems like, couple months or so. So we certainly wish our coach Eddie Bullock a very speedy recovery. Jim Jacobs also with us, and the rest of our FNN crew. As there you see our countdown to kickoff presented by S&H Waterproofing and Construction. So should have a good crowd here tonight for the final home game of the season for Pleasant Valley. But for Pleasant Valley, this is not the final game of their 2023 season, because they will be going to the postseason for the first time since 2010 in the 9th season of head coach Jonathan Nix, who's done a very outstanding job so far this year with a very young squad for Pleasant Valley that has, as we mentioned, just 7 seniors that are being honored tonight as far as their final home game in a Raiders uniform. But you take a look at Coach Jonathan Nix's roster, 7 sophomores, 13 freshmen, and an 8th grader. And in asking Coach Nix as far as not only this year, but what the future looks like ahead for Pleasant Valley football, and he mentioned just a couple days ago, it looks very bright as far as the forecast for Pleasant Valley down the road. And certainly the next couple of years, if as far as the 13 freshmen and 7 sophomores can remain as far as at Pleasant Valley with the football program, then there should be some very solid football here at Pleasant Valley for the foreseeable future. They come in at 5-4 overall, but a rock-solid 4-2 record in Class 2A Region 6. And on the opposite sideline, as far as first-year coach Ken Kofer's Weaver Bearcats, it's been really a near miss as far as they could have been in the playoffs themselves in Class 3As. They're 3-6 coming into today, 1-5 in region play, but they've had 3 losses so far this year that have been by a touchdown or less. In fact, a couple of those in region play against Beulah last week, and then Dadeville in their region opener